Hello, so we're going to do part 2 of the Ascension Symptoms Manual. So we're on thyroid symptoms. The thyroid is another key player in the game we call spiritual puberty. It is located in the neck below the Adam's apple and is known for its main function to help produce metabolism. It produces hormones known as T3 and T4, which is tridothyronine and triphyene. Which, why are medical words so complicated? The main symptoms associated with the thyroid from a spiritual stance is fatigue, nervousness, anxiety, feeling lackadaisical, body aches, sensitivity to temperatures, feeling too hot 1 minute, too cold the next, digestive issues, craving salt, sugar, struggling to get out of bed in the morning, imbalanced hormones, the ones that are produced by the thyroid, sudden weight loss and gain, high cholesterol. This is known by the label of adrenal fatigue, which is part of physical ascension. As higher light frequencies filter into the crown chakra, they make their way to the thyroid and adrenals first. These body parts need mineral compositions to conduct signals between nerve cells. Since the thyroid and adrenals are sending more signals now, they require more minerals, such as salt. Salt is a mineral-based compound that helps to ease nerve exhaustion. I talk about this on the 144 book that I'm reading right now, but I absolutely I put salt in my water now. I make sure I put salt on my food. I definitely upped my consumption of salt, realizing I need more minerals in the body now. Not table salt, I should add. Sea salts, unrefined sea salts. I love Celtic sea salt and Himalayan rock salt as well. So it's definitely something we need to while we're going through these upgrades, because his body is just processing so much energy. Going back to the story of the famous white drop, it is a thyroid stimulating hormone that drips from the pituitary gland to pollinate the T3 and T4. As this pollination, spiritual process, takes place, the inability for the light to expand determines the symptoms. What the angels mean here is that if the light meets resistance, it causes uncomfortable issues. The resistance it meets are the static energy balls formed in the body by trauma and emotions. So just doing a little diagram there. The T3 hormone affects important processes such as heart rate growth, metabolism, the body temperature, while the important factors of the T4 when it comes to this process is how the body breaks down fat. If the T4 levels are too high, it causes sudden weight loss. If the T4 levels are too low, it causes sudden weight gain. The reason for weight loss is due to such an influx of plasma light, which causes extreme production of metabolism. The reason for weight gain is due to the lack of metabolism produced. This keeps the body from actively breaking down fat, causing high cholesterol and blocked arteries. People who do a lot of energy work will notice an increase in metabolism. The more balanced your emotional and mental body, the more energy you will have. This is because you are no longer wasting your vibrational currency on that which no longer serves you, meaning no longer devoting all your energy to play in the past or the future of the mind. You will no longer have an overactive mind or give all your energy to others, leaving very little for yourself. This too can cause fatigue. The body needs all the energy it can to ease this process. Take note of the solar flares to help you become cognizant of your energy. The angels wish to speak on PTSD since the fight or flight response is produced by the adrenals. Only if someone hasn't allowed emotions to flow from a trauma event will it turn into a mental illusion. This illusion is fed by the same energy and creates an attachment in the brain. Smacking the label of PTSD allows the individual to continue to play in victimhood and not take ownership nor responsibility, which makes this energy create branches like a tree inside the brain. If one is aligned with their source self, then they should be in the now only moment. A traumatic event is not in the now, which causes them to live in constant time loops. If the energy associated with this event is not allowed to flow from the energetic field of the physical body to be healed, it will become a vortex of negative energy. This energy will overstimulate the pituitary and the adrenal glands, as well as the autonomic nervous system. This causes the body to overproduce specific hormones such as norepinephrine, which is also a neurotransmitter in the natural biorhythm of these. If the natural biorhythm of these is out of alignment, it causes aggressive behavioral patterns, head pains, increased heart rate, high blood pressure, depression, stressed organs, anxiety, along with many others. It is important to note that as light enters the vagus nerve, if this is already the case, imagine what it will do to the mental body. This, again, beautiful ones, are why we teach the importance of feeling. Exactly right. You're going to hear that. And, I've purchased most of Zanita's books now because I just love them. As soon as I started reading the 144, I knew I'd become consumed. There's so much wisdom and knowledge within these books. They're so interesting and connecting to our spirit. And as it runs through it, as I teach with my clients, right, it's so important for us to be able to feel our emotions, to allow ourselves. Emotions are energy, emotion. They are supposed to flow through the body. And as children, we are all programmed to deny our emotions, to repress our emotions, to label them as good and bad, so that then we feel guilt or shame if we feel certain emotions. So from a very young age, we're being programmed to feel guilt about our emotions, to feel shame about them. I was just talking to a client about it now, how, and I'm not judging parents for this, right? Parents that do this, if you're watching this and you're a parent that do it, then brilliant, because you can start to bring awareness to it. This is it's just a case of you are programmed this way too, so you do it too. But often you will see parents walking around with children may be crying, they may be feeling an emotion of anger, let's say, and the parent will get cross, will be, stop crying, stop humiliating me, you're making a scene, everyone's looking at us, things like this, which then starts to make the child feel guilt and shame, and really self-conscious of these natural feelings that are running through the body. So rather than helping the child, just allowing the child, just letting the child know it's okay to feel these emotions, just to breathe through it, let it move through the body, we are actually programming children to shut them down, suppress them, actually feel guilt and shame about them. And that's what most adults are walking around with now, because they also went through this as children as well. And then these emotions that are energy emotions that need to flow, and I had to relearn this. I realized in my 30s I had suppressed so many of my emotions under humor. Suppressed so many emotions. I couldn't even admit to myself that I didn't feel like I was good enough. And because I couldn't admit that I felt like that, I was working like a maniac. And I had to nearly have a nervous breakdown to wake up and realize that I was suppressing a feeling of not feeling good enough because it felt uncomfortable. Why does it feel uncomfortable? Because it's not the truth. It's got trapped in the body. So I had to acknowledge that emotion. I had to acknowledge that I felt that way. As soon as I did that, I started to heal. And I say now that has become my greatest ally. That wound became my greatest ally because it sent me on this deeper and deeper inner journey to find my light. Is it not, when we are in the darkness, does it not make us go and search out the light. We're looking to put on the light when we are in the darkness. We go in search of our light, and that's what we start to find. We start to find that we are the light, that we are seeded from the light. And as we find it in the darkness, it starts to grow and it illuminates those shadows, and we realize that those shadows are simply masks on top of our light, and they are there to help us find our light. So it's so important, that we actually, really support children when they're feeling emotions. Let them know that it's absolutely fine to feel emotions. Yeah, we've got to teach them that it's not healthy to project them onto others, but that only happens when we don't allow kids to feel what they need to feel, to just let that emotion go. Emotions are the element of water. It's energy in motion. Imagine your body with this rhythm running through it, and you then put all these walls and dams around it. That water's going to get blocked, it's going to get stagnant, and it's going to start to cause dis-ease in the mental body, which is going to cause dis-ease in the body. I don't know why I said it like that, but it's just so you can see, it's dis-ease becomes disease. So the vagus nerve symptoms. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve of the autonomic nervous system. This is connected to the medulla oblongata, which is where the 9th chakra is located. As previously stated, this energy center is sometimes called the mouth of God portal. The 9th chakra is activating at the same time as the 8th chakra. The 8th chakra is located where your thymus is, below your throat. When the 9th energy center opens, it allows the Christ seed, aka the blue pearl, to anchor into the thymus. It's about here, so you've got your throat chakra here, you've got your heart here, and then you've got your thymus. And I remember when my thymus was activating, I didn't even know there was an 8th chakra, a thymus gland at the time. I had no idea, and I could feel so much activation going on in there. And I was like, whoa, that's interesting. That's not my throat, that's not my heart. And then I started to know what it was. Because often we talk about the 7 chakras, and they are really important in the body, but we also have this higher heart chakra as well that starts to activate. So this feels like heart palpitations, recalling what was taught in the human template chapter. As a chakra activates, it will cause physical symptoms around it. Upper energy centers. So we can just see here, I'm just going to show you these here so you can kind of see these upper energy centers. So you can see it pointing to your 8th chakra, your 9th chakra, and then we can see above solar, galactic, universal. The vagus nerve is directly related to solar activity, because the local sun feeds it along with the 9th and 10th chakra. Hence is why the 10th chakra is called the solar chakra. The sun in the sky is now white. This fully anchored in 2020, and that is when more plasma light began to stream into the vagus nerve for the collective. I'm actually going to put on you'll notice actually the thumbnail on this is a picture of the sun that I took in El Salvador in earlier this year, February 2024, and you can see how bright white it is. And not only can you see how bright white it is, you can see the like rainbow light, pearlescent colours coming off the rays. The sun itself looks like this big archangel spreading its wings. It's absolutely beautiful. This fully anchored in 2020, and that is when more plasma light began to stream into the vagus nerve for the collective. This occurred to feed the body pure crystals light for preparation for the collective DNA activation after fall 2024. With that said, vagus nerve symptoms are going to be the main ascension symptoms for those of the stage 1 awakening. Spring of 2023 will see an all-time high of these cases. It is just part of the natural process we call spiritual puberty. When it comes to this process, the angels say to just remember to kiss. Kiss. Keep it simple for spirit. In the Pearl Code teachings, you learn about the magical mind scepter located in the brain. As your ninth chakra opens, the white light from your spirit is shining into it. This causes that scepter to ignite a new vision out of your optics eyes. This is the activation of etheric vision, seen from your etheric energy body. This ignition helps to dissolve the illusions of fear, which causes disruptions in the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is an extension of your pillar of light, and this is where your spirit sends light flashes to all the key players of your torso. Since the vagus nerve is part of the autonomic nervous system, as light filters through it, it can cause runny nose, coughing, upper respiratory issues, nausea with no body aches. Definitely experienced all of that. Actually, lately, when I had a big upgrade a few weeks ago, when activations occur and surges of solar activity flare up, the symptoms can be dizziness, sudden vertigo, sore shoulders. Yeah, definitely experienced that a lot. Sore throat. Yep, sore neck, migraines. Sometimes for 2 to 3 days if a solar storm is strong. Sore throat mainly when you wake up due to activations happening while the body is at rest. Yep. Energy swirls in the spine, heat in the spine. Yep. Heat in the esophagus, acid reflux at night, sometimes waking you up, adrenal gland issues. This is related to the hormone upgrades. Definitely experienced a lot of heat in the body anyway. Sudden anxiety when there is no apparent reason for it, unable to inhale normally, having to take very small, slow inhales due to pain in the diaphragm, instant kundalini heat in the spine, accompanied by any of these symptoms. Energy swirls at the base of the skull or sore scalp in that area, high-pitched inner ear noises or momentary earaches, definitely not lots going on in the ears. Tender lymph glands with the feeling of post-nostril drip. Respiration is part of the autonomic nervous system. Therefore, as light descends the vagus nerve, it can cause the sudden inability to fully inhale. The more fear balls, suppressed fear pockets, one has in their body, the more resistance the light meets as it tries to enter the diaphragm. This nerve runs through the main respiratory muscle where fear is suppressed in the body. As this upgrade settles, these symptoms along with all others will ease up. Always remember to do breath work. Go into solitude, unplug, and be consciously aware of what you feed your energy field. The field within and without you. All parts of the human template are multidimensional. They have just been dormant and now coming awake. Think of a car that sat in a garage for decades. Before you start it up and drive it, some small upgrades need to occur. I'm just going to show you that diagram there. Physical symptoms, the entire body. Electric tingles. These can be all over the body or over certain areas such as the legs. Sometimes it can feel as if someone is touching you, bugs are crawling over you, or static pulsations. This simply is plasma energy emitting from your light body into your muscles for upgrades and activations. Definitely experienced that in the past. Those in stage 1 will feel them most likely in the legs and head at first. Sometimes you can have sudden sensations on one side of the body. There are energy centers located all over your energy bodies. Absolutely, we talk about these main centers in the body, but their energy centers are just everywhere in the body. As soon as you start to perceive your own energetic system, as soon as you start to connect fully to your body, as you're clearing out your template, as you're doing your energetic work, as you're healing, you're going to start to really connect and realize that your body is full of energy centers. When your higher self sends out signals for healing, upgrading, or activating, these sudden sensations can take place. Another moment will be when you have reached the proper octave that opens a light code held within your light body. Think of an octave as a key to unlock the door of a light code. These light codes are like a book that holds anything from memories to a key code meant to unlock a DNA cap. Having random psychic abilities turn on is an example of a DNA cap being removed. Electric zaps. Wow, I've definitely experienced some of these electric zaps, and sometimes just huge, massive, like electric shocks. Mainly at night, you will feel intense, sudden electric charges zap your body. This comes into the crown energy center and travels through your central nervous system and your nervous system. It is important to know the difference between the two. The central nervous system consists of the brain and spinal column. Therefore, plasma light enters your crown and travels at the speed of light through both systems. This is intended for instant DNA upgrades. Usually, after this happens, you will notice your consciousness has expanded. You'll start to view everything in a wider spectrum. Some will wake up with new knowledge on subjects they have never studied before. Some will take a sudden interest in subjects they were never interested in before. This occurs typically 3 to 7 days after. It is a good idea to keep a calendar of when these zaps happen and what changes occur within you. Fatigue. Sudden intense fatigue, exhaustion and body shakes. This occurs after you leave your home and interact with the 3D world. To the physical eyes, this realm looks like your realm, but it is the lower 3D earth. You will still interact with the earth until you fully are anchored on the organic 5D earth. This causes those who have ascended already out of the 3D earth they incarnated upon you to have zero urges to leave your house. Absolutely. I definitely, have been pretty in solitude for quite a long time, especially during my ascension, for many reasons, because you do want to be on your own, because you're doing a lot of healing, you're doing a lot of meditating. I'm doing a lot of studying. There's a lot of things that I'm interested in that I'm studying. I'm creating to harmonize a path of unplugging from the false matrix into the organic matrix. And I just like to be in this energy, and often I don't want to be in places now where there's big crowds and lots of people doing all the stuff that I used to do. It just doesn't I have no desire for it anymore. Really, I leave my house mostly because I've got to go get food, sometimes to visit friends, and because the woods is like 10 minutes away, and I love the woods. But I totally resonate with this, and you will feel this on your journey, that often during the ascension we have a lot of time in solitude and in isolation, and it's important to have that time as well. You may even get anxiety when you know you must venture out. It's because your land home is in another reality, with higher frequencies. Once you are home for a few hours, you will adjust and feel back to normal. So here's some self-care tips. Soak your feet in salt water when you return home. Take an Epsom salt bath. That's one of my favorites. Place hands over the bath prior and bless the water. Here is a mantra to try. Visualize infusing it with diamond light. So I love this. I've only really, probably at the beginning of this year, not even that actually, probably only since around May, started doing blessings. And I've always had baths and Epsom salt baths, and loved that. I've always realised that is good to cleanse my energy and bring me into alignment and balance. But I never blessed the bath water, but I started doing that in May. So I love that there's a little blessing in here. So it says, water is conscious. It is alive. It does hear us. It can bless us, right? This water is now activated with the purest form of love and light. May it purify, harmonize, and align all my energies across all now. All my energy across all now. This bath is now sacred. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love that. It's just simple, to the point, beautiful. I'm going to write that down and do that on my next bath. Number 3, when you get into your car, you can visualize yourself surrounded in a white light bubble. Here is a mantra to try. Only energy with the purest intentions and light can enter my field. All energy of lower vibrations and impure intentions cannot enter my field. Not now, not ever. Only that which is for my highest good can reside here. And it says say that 3 times. That's another good one that you could write down and just keep in your car until it's something that you just say automatically. Number 4, soaking a towel or washcloth in salt water and washing the walls of your home. This is to help cleanse any stuck energy, goo. Taking deep breaths into your heart, holding it for 3 seconds. Then as you exhale, keep your mouth closed and guide this breath down your body to exit the soles of your feet and surround you with pure white light. Now, I did this because I've already read this book, right? That's why I decided to read it on this channel. So I did this the other day when I was in the car park nipping out to get some food, and it was so lovely. It felt so good. So I definitely recommend doing that. You know, if you're quite new to really working consciously with your breath, when you do close your eyes and you breathe in and then you breathe out, just intend it. So even if you can't feel it moving all the way down, just intend it to move down your torso, down your legs, out of the soles of your feet, and just trust that it is happening, because it is happening. At some point, you'll start to connect to that and be able to feel the truth of that. 6, quarterly spiritual housekeeping. This is what feels best for you, such as burning sage around the house, inside and out, incense, bells, etc. Is about tuning into your heart and listening to what is for your highest good. Once you are fully anchored, your Christos pillar of light, you won't need to do this. Yeah, you know, your light really is your biggest protector. You know, the stronger your light field is, then, you know, it creates that, I like to call it a diamond-like fortress around you, and your energy is protected. For those in stage 1, the angels and I created the Crackling the Chrysalis weekly energy check-in journal to track how you feel. This is important because it allows you to stop and observe your week. It is important when you have fatigue to do a temperature check on your energy field. It is important to take note on who and what you interact with that cause fatigue afterwards. This is simply mindfulness, like unplugging from your cell phone to see if this alters your energy. Another tip is to pay attention to what people you interact with and who causes turbulence in your energy field and who does not. Once you anchor your Christ seed, a light cocoon will form around you. The key is knowing you are sovereign and protected, expanding your consciousness with the understanding that nothing outside of you can harm you. Always stay in the now moment, because God's source only resides in the now. When you move out of that field, you increase the chances of time looping. This is when you feel you cannot catch a break and are stuck in broken cycles. Doing spiritual housekeeping is key until your consciousness is fully anchored in the now time field. Also, one must take extra precaution when interacting with lower frequencies than self, flu-like symptoms. This is when you have all the flu symptoms but never get sick. This mainly consists of body aches for me. This is due to an adjustment to your non-physical senses solely integrating with your physical ones. Hormones. This is the entire range of hormone imbalance. Symptoms are going to be like those listed below under the thyroid chapter. For women, it feels like puberty plus menopause at once. For men, it feels like puberty times 2 plus a midlife crisis. Hot flashes at night for the male body is a huge one for this stage. Now, I definitely went through just like, I remember this, it was in 2020, I think, just like all of a sudden just burning up. And that would be at night, if I remember correctly, just like red hot. And I know I didn't actually tell anybody about it, because I knew if I told my friends about it or anyone about it, I knew exactly what they'd say. They say, you're going through the menopause, and I knew I wasn't. So I was so grateful, like I say, for other people that had gone through it before me and was talking about these symptoms, because I knew it wasn't that. I'm not going through menopause, FYI. The first phase is an integration of both the divine masculine and divine feminine energy into one body. When this occurs, it causes some to mistake this for an unidentifiable gender. We are returning to 0 point energy, which has no gender. The physical body, however, does hold a gender blueprint, and this is part of the universal natural laws of creation. We incarnate as a gender form in the earthly worlds because Earth herself needs that Pacific energy. The actual energy that is filtering into the form is meant to be perfectly balanced. This is the organic, angelic human design. A soul pre-selects the type of gender body that is the best match for its divine blueprint prior to incarnation. Exactly. I've known this for a long time. When I started to just know that I'd been here before, that, we choose our bodies. We are not born into the wrong body because it's not possible to be born into the wrong body. Now, I'm not saying that people don't have those feelings, but the truth is, so whether you feel that way or not, all I'm saying is your soul pre-selects the sex of your body. You choose your body because your body is designed to give you exactly the experiences that you require in this lifetime for your soul to grow and expand in the ways that it desires to grow and expand. So you do choose your body. Always love your physical body. Yes, the body is a key. There's so much. The body is being weaponized against us. Why? Because the body is a key. Because when we are in union with the body and the spirit, we are unstoppable. Because we are those angelic human templates. That's how the body is designed, as an angelic human template. We are unstoppable when we are in union with our body, when we love our body, when we cherish our body, when we respect our body, when we listen to our body, when we give our body what it needs. Our soul can come in, our soul light can come in, and we can create that union within the body. The body is a key. Always love your physical body because you choose it for what is for your highest good. The second phase is once this energy anchors into the cells of the body, they start shifting the chemicals, hormones. This is when one must ride the wave and trust in spirit. What the divine designed should be allowed to flow naturally. Think back to the river. When the natural flow of a river is altered, it changes paths, which disrupts all other kingdoms. Creation is a web. We are all connected. What each does always affects the other, micro to macro. The angels inform me that the reason earthly worlds have male and female bodies is because they work like a negative and positive charge for the earth grid. As light from the spirit of the soul operating through that vessel filters into the body's energy field, it creates a spiritual alchemy that then feeds the earthly grid. This is what feeds the DNA and ultimately the collective consciousness. By altering this, it then alters the collective consciousness, which projects out of the DNA. Those that are part of stage 1 will have unbalanced hormones each time solar flares occur. This will subside once the energies are balanced within. It's good to keep track of when you notice these emotional outbursts or hormonal symptoms. Then look up solar flare activity as well as full moons, eclipses to see if you are sensitive to them. If you are, it is wise to take extra precautions when they occur next. Here are some self-care routines. Take salt baths with eucalyptus for 20 minutes. And she just says that she does this daily. Drink extra water. Take time to do grounding exercises such as bare feet on the ground or walking in nature. Take time for solitude to stabilize your energy field. Eat raw living foods such as fruits and vegetables. Burn natural lavender essential oil to help soothe and calm you. Be conscious of what you allow into your personal space energy-wise. Disconnect from electronics for a short period of time or no longer if you're able. I did a couple of days where I just turned everything off and it was just so good. And I make sure now that, and I haven't always been like this, again, we have to take back our power slowly because we get into these habits and these habits become autopilots in our brain. We create these really strong connections in our brain. We've done something over and over again that when we're trying to change something, because the mind likes what's familiar because it's created that connection, then it's just so easy for us to just talk ourselves out of doing it. But so, slowly I've been taking back my power. And, something new that I introduced a few months ago, even though I kind of done it on and off, and this is how I always start when I'm making a change. I'm like, comes into my consciousness and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that. And I might just, start doing it and then kind of like stop doing it again and start doing it. But it doesn't take me too long now till I'm like, right. And sometimes something just triggers with this. It just triggered and I knew, right. So now I always turn off my Wi-Fi on a night so that, it's not on a night at all. And I always make sure that all my electrical equipment is out of the bedroom, and I've not had a TV in my bedroom for 20 years neither. So I don't have, because I got into a very bad habit of having my laptop in bed and doing things on it till I went to sleep, right? So I had to reprogram myself to stop doing that. And now I just have it all out of the bedroom. And these kind of things, we really need to do these kind of things for ourselves, particularly now. And you're going to see that you're going to be able to integrate much easier. You're going to have much more powerful experiences in dream time, in meditation time, because you don't have these electromagnetic waves interfering with the natural energy of your body. So yeah, really be conscious of what you allow into your personal space, energy-wise. Disconnect from electronics for a short period of time or longer if you're able. So yeah, I kind of committed to myself to once a week, at least turning everything off for the whole day and night and just being off clock, which is really great. But every now and then I'm just going to throw in 2 or 3 days. So if you can do that, just do it for yourself. You're going to feel refreshed. Nerve pain, shingles. This is due to the intensity of plasma light anchoring into your central nervous system and nervous system. Those who do healing work and channeling will get this more often than others. When it comes to those on the path of a full embodiment of their higher self, Christos light, they will have constant nerve issues as the light comes in their light body, typically several 100,000 miles in diameter. Amazing, right? Is feeding the earth grid to help upgrade it to the 5D blueprint. Personal experience. At age 19, I got shingles for the first time. Then a few years later, a tennis ball size nerve tumor. It says same nerve track as the shingles. Around 2010, sciatica issues started, which come and go to this day. While channeling the angelic pearls 144, pearl light codes, rising merits, and the crackle in the chrysalis book, I got shingles in my spine several times. This is what happens when I have intense amounts of pure crystals light entering my spinal cord. I am, however, able to heal this within 2 days by using this same light. Beautiful. I simply visualize it exiting my right palm as I place it over the shingles. The key here is to have pure faith in your own spirit. So it be, yeah, just reminding me, I've just had a session with a client, amazing client who's probably watching this. So hi, you know who you are. All my clients are amazing in fairness, but this client was just saying, he'd woke up with like a sore shoulder, quite a sore shoulder. So he just, went into meditation. He spoke to his higher self. He asked his higher self, intended to send healing onto his shoulder. And by the time he'd finished, boom, it had gone. We are powerful beings. We've just got to reconnect back with our own healing power. So I just thought that was beautiful. And I was just like so proud of him. Just like, yes. Solar flare sensitivity. Be aware of when you get sudden shivers, body aches, bone chills and stiffness, fatigue and body shakes. When this occurs, look to see if there was a solar flare or a solar prominence. If you are a pure angelic soul, you will feel these 1 to 3 days prior to any local solar activity. This is since you are connected to the great central sun or the greater central sun, center sun of the galaxy or of the universe. Solar activity is like a domino effect, meaning that it injects sun to sun, macro to micro. Yeah, I mean, there's so many times when I've woken up and felt like I've done some kind of like massive exercise routine when I've done nothing but sleep. So you're going through these upgrades as you're sleeping. But again, like I say, I always embrace these pains. I embrace these feelings in my body because I know that I'm upgrading, and that excites me. Another personal experience. The angels advised me to keep a calendar of when I had these symptoms so I could track it along with any celestial event. If you are new to your psychic abilities, this is a great homework assignment. It will get you out of your head and become more attuned to your own body energy field. Sweating. Increase or random moments of sweating when your body is not being active. This is due to Kundalini rising. There are multiple Kundalini risings per you will get at the start of each full DNA upgrade activation. Personal experience. I would get these at night, so I would turn my air conditioning low and keep a fan on, since it is easy for our spirit and team to upgrade our body when it is fully at rest. Yeah, I mean, I always notice anytime I'm going to bed at night, I always go into meditation while I'm in bed, right? And it's always at night when I feel the most intense work start. And you know that while you're sleeping, you know, you're not in resistance, right? You're the most relaxed that you're going to be getting these upgrades. So this is why most of you will have this at night, along with electric zaps and shocks, temperature surges, random surges of hot or cold temperatures in certain body parts. This is due to even upgrade, activation, or cleansing of an energy center. Some examples are cold swirls at your solar plexus or at your throat chakra. Personal experience. I get a cooling sensation down my arms when receiving crystals light into my 9th chakra, located where the base of the head connects to the spine. This can feel like peppermint in your veins. Some of you will feel this when you are doing healing work as well. If I can compare it to something, it is like when you put ice hot on your skin, but imagine that feeling inside of you, vibrating. This includes inner outer body vibrations and energy waves bouncing into you, usually accompanied by vertigo. What is happening is the light codes held within your light body are coming online. As they activate, they are emitting energetic waves through your energy bodies. As these waves of energy pass through each energy body, they are duplicating the light codes to be held there for activations. Since these are newly felt energy waves, as they are received into your sensory tract, the signals from the brain are not pre-programmed. An example of a pre-programmed signal is a feeling of fear or sadness. Energy simply just is. However, in the 3D world, they are labeled with illusionary feelings. Therefore, spiritual masters teach to not use the mind to label, but instead to simply feel. Do you know what? I love that, right? What was I just saying earlier? That as kids, we're taught that this emotion is bad, this emotion is good, when that is just not the truth. And that's what creates the shame, the guilt, the repression, and causes all these issues for us, and creates a disconnection to the true soul self and spirit and source. So, I love what she says here. I love that. Why do we have to name everything? Why do we have to give it a name? Why can't we just feel it? We just feel something. It's natural if we feel something. It just is. We feel something. It's natural. And we can just allow it to flow through us. I love that. Therefore, spiritual masters teach to not use the mind to label, but instead to simply feel. Sudden weight gain or loss is a huge Ascension symptom. For those in stage 1, you will have sudden weight gain and bloat in the beginning stages. Light expands, so when your body gets that first surge of higher consciousness to anchor, it causes these symptoms. This can stick for several years, so be gentle on yourself. Once the embodiment of your higher consciousness is fully integrated, the weight will suddenly disappear, like literally overnight. And then I'm just going to show that sensory track there. Okay, nearly finished for today. Just one more page. Okay, bones, crystalline bones. Ain't that beautiful? Your bones don't feel as dense and sometimes feel bendable. This is because your bones, just like your organs, are becoming less solid and more crystalline in nature. Electric bones. Almost everything you touch is sending electric zaps to your bones. This is a feeling that goes deeper than just that electric feeling on your fingertips. Yep. This is happening because your bones are piezoelectric. Piezoelectric basically is an electric charge that arises in solids like bones, DNA, and crystals. Your bones already have tiny crystals in them. Blood cells are produced in bone marrow. Therefore, plasma light flows from your light codes to then be stored in your bones. Think of your bones as batteries. They are charged by your light codes. When this is happening, it also causes joint pain. These batteries can now be used to turn on devices such as blood cells. Love it, love it. Okay, so I think that's enough for today. Obviously, if you came in at part 2, so if you haven't watched part 1, do go back and watch part 1 because there's some important information in that. So hopefully you enjoyed that as much as I did, and I will see you on the next one.